Hey guys, I am here with the incredible host of the new TV show Now with Natalie that's running on the Hillsong channel. I got to see episode 1 and I
Yes.
loved it. Natalie, thank you
Yes.
for sitting and chatting with us.
Thank
First,
you for having me. I'm so excited to chat with you.
yeah, girl. First tell us how did this come about? What inspired you to say, I'm going to do a TV show and we're going to do it with Hillsong and we're going to do it this way?
Couple things. Hillsong Channel, I just knew that they were the right partner to have. They understand the meaning of great purposeful content, and I respect them. I respect their view on things, of course, and also that's my church home.
Mhm.
In addition to where we are, as a humanity, the plight of humanity, and where we are as a culture, we are just not in the best place. And I just saw a need for purposeful content. And the purpose of the show is to really dismantle and nullify and pull back the veil of the counterfeits that are being sold for identity as well as purpose. And a lot of people are like, well, what are those counterfeits? And the counterfeits that are being sold is that our worth and our value is in everything else and what we do and who we are, and all those things define us as opposed to our identity and our purpose in our creator, that who has created us and is the one that should be putting labels on us. And so for me, I just saw a need. Miles Monroe always says, if you see a problem, become the solution, and that can be a part of your purpose. So for me, I just felt the call, and I knew that we needed it as a generation. And so, yeah, here we are today.
I know that this whole TV host thing is kind of a new arena for you, is it? Or am I just saying
Yeah,
that? I know that
it
you're
is.
normally in fashion and that kind of
Yeah.
world. So, but this medium, did you feel like this medium would be the most effective to do this to relay this message with?
100%. Just for the sake of, I know that if we can have people sit down, people like the Kellys and the Haleys and the Jerrys sit down, have a conversation, have a very vulnerable, transparent conversation. That, in my opinion, was the most impactful way that we needed to do it. I think vocally hearing their story as opposed to maybe reading it, to me, is more impactful.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. And I love the fact that, I mean, I don't know how the other episodes are going to go, but I do love the fact that you sitting down one on one, it's kind of like y'all are just kicking it and you get to really be
Yeah.
real. Yeah.
Yeah. That was the whole point. I think too, for me, the guests of this first season, those are my friends and my family. It's my community.
Yeah.
And so, I'm blessed to have them in my life. Not only have I learned from each and every one of them, but we have these conversations all the time. So it was just, wait a minute, why are we not filming this? Why are we not putting this out to the world? And yeah, it could be very daunting and scary to really tell your story and really
Yeah.
be able to tell the truth, and
Especially when you're a celebrity and you feel like you have to keep up a rapport.
100%. But they saw the need just as much as I did, so I was just
Mm.
humbled and grateful and honored that they gave it to me, girl.
I
They
love
gave
it.
it to me.
I was going to ask you what made you choose the people that you chose, but you're saying they were part of your community. Is that why?
Yeah, they're my community, and I know what they have to offer. I know what
Mm.
they have to give, and I know that what they say can be very impactful. The greatest way to serve is to tell your story, and for them, I just needed them to tell their story, be honest, be transparent, and I knew that they would have an impact. That they probably didn't even realize how big the impact would be, and it has so far.
Yeah. I wrote about the Haley episode with Haley Bieber now. I can't even
Yeah,
call her Baldwin anymore.
I
Um,
love it.
and I was so blessed to just hear how just level-headed and just clear. And I've talked to her dad a bunch of times, so we know that he's the radical Christian. Like he'll tell you
Yes.
like it is. But I was really inspired to see her share,
Hmm.
so candidly about it. Let me ask you, because I don't know about the other episodes to come. Do all the people invited on the show, do they talk about their faith? Is that
Oh, 100%.
Right.
100%. Everybody that's on the show is a believer.
Oh,
And
gotcha.
that was the point.
That's great.
I think the common thread from everybody from episode 1 to episode 6 is the common thread is their faith. Is that, consistent pillar in their life, which is their faith and their relationship with Jesus and their relationship with God. And they're able to talk about it. They're able to display it. They're able to say how it's helped them navigate their selves through this industry. So yeah, Kelly's episode 2, Tyson Chandler, Elaine Welch Roth, and Angela Davis, and then Jerry Lorenzo, and they all definitely give it to us about the man above for
I love
sure.
it. I can't wait.
Yes, it's so
I
good.
I know how important the power of influence is. And I look at that, and even with what I do, I always try to sit down with people of influence to
Mm.
use that as an opportunity to share the gospel. Talk a little bit about that, because I think what you're doing is unique in the sense that not everybody has access, right? Like you do,
Mhm.
just because of the life that God has blessed you with. To
Yeah.
sit down with people of influence. Talk to us about why you even think people of influence are such a pivotal or impactful part of spreading the gospel in this day and age.
Because we are in a generation where we glorify the position that one has as opposed to glorifying the purpose of the position. And so for this, obviously people and viewers are going to go because they see these people that have these huge positions and huge influence. But they're here to tell you that it's not just about that. That it's bigger than the platform and the position that God has given them. It's bigger than Kelly Rowland always says it's bigger than the number ones. So for me, the strategy behind not only because they are my community, but understanding the influence that these people will have on our generation and on our culture. And I think for me, the mandate and the mantra and the goal was to infiltrate the kingdom in the culture as opposed to the other way around. So these people that are of influence are of the culture are able to now infiltrate kingdom mind thoughts and kingdom mind characteristics in the culture, and it's a need.
That's awesome. Now I'm going to ask you an annoying question.
Yeah, go.
But I know Hillsong does get a lot of flack sometimes for having that celebrity kind of culture. And at any point of this, were you worried, like, okay, because you know how it is, celebrities like Haley, I love that she expressed that. She's like, sometimes you're gonna see me not dressed maybe what you would think modest or whatever,
Yeah.
but it's my job. But you know how it is with the Christians sometimes, and I hate it, girl, and I didn't grow up in the Christian culture, so that I'm grateful for it, because I'm not that type of Christian. But there is a lot of people who would be like, well, they're over here trying to say this person is glorifying God, but then here they are doing something that looks worldly. How do you kind of handle that?
You're saying
Just
handle what
the
people say.
criticism. Yeah, the criticism that'll probably come with maybe some of the people that you do have on your show, or you will have on your show in the future.
Yeah. It's just the unfortunate thing is that people at these statures, they have a microscope on them more so than we do. So we all sin. We all, you know what I mean? But for us, we just see it. Unfortunately, the people that are on my show, we just see it because of the access and the visibility that they have. So who are you to judge? I sin, you sin, we all sin. So for me, the comeback would be, we just see it, but no one sees your sin, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, facts.
That's my perspective on it.
Yeah, it's 100% true. And I think that's what people forget. It's like we're all on this journey. All of us.
Exactly. But some people have a microscope on them and some people don't.
Yeah.
And that's just the fortunate part and the unfortunate part.
Yeah. And I'm really grateful that, because there are going to be people that will look to somebody like Kelly Rowland or Haley Bieber or Chandler or whoever, and be like, wow, like I didn't even know they had a faith. And let me follow them on that faith journey. And that to me is the main idea. But anyway.
Yeah, that's the whole purpose of it. Like, you look at these people and you admire them, but the bigger thing is, why do you admire them? You admire them because of their characteristics. And where is their character coming from? It's rooted in faith and it's rooted in God. So the whole purpose of this is to pull back that veil of,
Yeah.
this is why you really like that person. You might not know why you like them, but this is why you like them, because they're rooted in Christ and they're rooted in God, and that's where their great character, if you will, comes from.
I love that you said that, and pulling back the veil, because I think
Yeah.
that identity, like this generation, there's an assault on identity like no other. I mean, we've always dealt with it, but I feel like it's just it's crazier, like
Yeah.
and I think that that is what we will be able to see, is where these celebrities or these people are finding their identity. I love that.
100%.
So let me ask you, what's your overall goal? And you probably already said it, but like, let's say you look back in 5 years, this is what you want for this show to do, the impact that you really want it to have. What would that be?
People to know, have an awakening of their true identity and their true purpose. People to have an awakening that their identity is not in what they do, that they don't have to earn their identity, they just get to experience it. We have to realize that we were already born with identity, we were already born with purpose. We don't have to find it, we don't have to create it, we just have to be it. And what is that? We were born accepted, we were born whole, we were born redeemed, we were born free from condemnation, we were born whole, we were born more than conquerors, we were born more than enough. We don't have to earn that. We already are that. And I think a lot of us now, today, think that we have to become something in order to fill that, in order to fill that void.
Yeah.
We're looking for this external win to satisfy this internal longing. And then all reality is the internal longing is already there. We have to look to our creator of, for our identity and for our purpose. So to answer your question, it would simply be that they have an awakening of their true purpose and their true identity in who created them.
I love it. I know you talked about you want to focus on what truly matters, with this show
Yeah.
and feeding the soul. And I really enjoyed that word, period, because I think that that is the assault that a lot of people are becoming a victim to, is what they're feeding their soul with. And not a lot of people know they have to be intentional about that. So, we're talking about everybody that's on your show, but I want to talk about you a little bit, and just kind of how what do you do to feed your soul? What do you do to speak with such conviction, like you are right now, about the mission that you're on? What are some of the things you do? Because I know there's going to be people looking, they're like, wow, that's so cool. Like, maybe I can do that. But I'm so distracted with wanting to be who I see on social media. I'm so distracted with trying to fit in with whatever the norm is now. So.
Yeah. Well, it took me a long time to get here, so it didn't happen overnight. But for me, I had to know who I was. I didn't know, with me speaking with true conviction of understanding your identity and your purpose, I didn't get here until a couple of years ago. But I'm so passionate about it because I see so many of us wanting to be this other thing that we were never intended to be. And so how do I feed my soul? Every morning, you have to have discipline. I mean, I just started getting in a rhythm of waking up every morning and praying and really worshiping. Like for me, prayer is just, go into prayer with a grateful, thankful heart. And then obviously ask the Father, what do you want from me today? I think a lot of times we think that God needs us. No, we're co-laboring with God. So for me, every morning, it's like, what do you want from me today? How would you want me to speak in this interview today? What does it look like for you? As well as going into worship. And what does worship do for me? It definitely makes me just go into praise for Him. So it shifts your heart posture. And a lot of it for me, it just helps me to receive the things that He's telling me to do, even though it may be difficult or not. So it's really spending time with Him. I say all the time, we all of us want to have this relationship with God, but the reality is you have to spend time with Him. It's just like if me and you want a relationship, I won't get to know you if I don't spend time with you. Yeah. If I don't really, understand your word or understand, your language or how you may speak to me, etc. We have to get to know God and how He speaks to us and through us. So again, for me, it's spending a lot of time in the morning, and it's constantly talking to Him and hearing what He has to say. And I think those convictions will build over time. This just didn't happen. It definitely took a lot of falls for me to get here. It took a lot of lessons for me to get here, but now I'm here.
Yeah, but I love what you said, discipline. Like, that's it. And that's the hardest part. Yeah, I know it's the hardest part.
But you got to do it, girl. You got to do it.
So now with Natalie, how can people find this? How can they tune in? What do they have to do? Tell us about that.
Yeah, so Hillsong Channel every night, 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. And if you miss an episode, you can go to hillsongchannel.com/Natalie to see that episode of that week.
And you said this is just the first season, so will you be doing more?
Yes.
Yay!
100%. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, Natalie, I don't want to take too much more of your time. Is there anything else you want to add? You want to share with the people? Feel free.
Don't abort the process. Realize that you need everything that you go through in order to sustain for you for where God is taking you. So don't think that anything is wasted. Nothing is wasted in God's eyes, and just be encouraged with that and know that whatever trial and tribulation you go through, you need it for your growth and for the things to come along for the future.
Amen. Thank you so much. I'm excited for all the episodes and all the speakers that you have on. But I really love your heart, and I can't wait for people to even connect more with you and just kind of on your journey. You're really inspiring. I love it.
That means so much. And same with you, girl. Keep on keeping on. We need it.
Thank you. All right, hon. God bless.
All right.